Hi there, welcome to Open Roads, a new show on the channel where we'll just be taking a walk through open and transitional areas in games. Doing a bit of sightseeing in a virtual tour of sorts. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about all sorts of things here, mainly focusing on the smaller aspects of games and movies. So, as always, grab yourself a tea or a coffee and sit back as we take a walk together. Today we're here in Western Whiterun Hold, just near Rorikstead. I thought we could take a journey from one side to the other, seeing what we can find as we go. The plains themselves are cradled by these two mountain ranges, likely protecting it from storms and other inclement weather. There is a peace found here that isn't present in the other holds, perhaps due to the Jarl's neutrality in the Civil War. There is pressure that can be felt on all sides, but within, we find a relatively quiet place. The wind brushing through the golden grass. We begin our journey walking towards these ancient stones. Some forgotten city or shrine fall into the passage of time. The tundral dirt is frozen, but still threatens to break our ankles with these sharp drops and protruding rocks. Whatever's left of the flooring is here, this wonderful carved stone now covered with lichen and moss. Whatever symbol, image or language it once betrayed now eaten by the earth. Having taken off late, we can spend the night here, sitting by this pond, watching the sun descend over the hills. The pond itself must be fed by rain or an underground system, for it isn't flowing anywhere, simply pushed lightly by the wind. I'm sure all kinds of water bugs enjoy darting around here. During the night, an aurora lights up the heavens, dazzling strokes of blue and green painting the sky. The ancient stones watching solemnly. The morning light presents us with this lovely golden glow, and making our way down to this growth of trees, we can spy two elk who have woken to begin their grazing. It looks like they might be heading to this small river to hydrate themselves before the heat of day begins proper. The river itself is topped with morning mist, evaporating as the cold night vanishes. Walking through transports us to an ethereal world for a minute, like a ghost walking on the air. The elk don't seem to mind us joining them, though they are a little skittish. Climbing up into this tiny forest, we can find ourselves under the canopy of these pines, their needles freshening the air. In the centre, there's this stump of an old giant. Comparing it with its younger kin, it must have been massive, towering over the landscape. I imagine the wind or a stray bolt of lightning could have ended its reign. Coming down the hill a bit, we can find our first proper river, one with a consistent flow stemming from snowmelt, glacial runoff or icy rain. It wouldn't do to go for a swim. Hypothermia in this wind wouldn't be ideal, but the fish seem to enjoy it well enough. Another giant sits felled within, its roots probably carved away as the river ate at the land. Following the river, we can come across a gorge it is created by tunnelling through a small hill. Rocks protrude from the sides, exposed by the current. It does lead us to this small island, a lone tree rising from the centre. It seems to be home to a family of mud crabs, and investigating further, someone's journey ended here. Perhaps trying to grab some resources from this vein when they encountered the deadly mud crabs, or were found by a roaming pack of wolves. There's some fishing supplies on the far shore, maybe belonging to our friend on the island. Here we can find some of the small creeks and falls that feed the river, seeping in from the ground. We can't not climb this mountain that rises to our south here. It's a pretty sharp incline, and ascending, we can see the ground turn from dirt to hard snow as the grass vanishes, unable to grow at this altitude. A city of rock forms around us, towering monoliths rising up to the sky. Carefully traversing the sheer pillars, we can reach the top and are presented with an awesome view. The golden fields stretching onwards towards the city. The ill-fated watchtower, peering over the surrounds just to its west. Below, one's heart can sink, peering over the edge at this huge landslide that has washed over the land, barreling down the mountain and wiping out everything in its path. I hope no one was camping down there when it fell. Up here, on the crown of the plains, it feels like we're on top of the world. I spied a shrine of some sort while we were up, so descending, we can approach to find this place of worship for the god Stendar. It looks like the Vigilants have been here recently, lighting these braziers and leaving some offerings for their god. This place is old, and must carry sacred meaning to the followers of Stendar. Perhaps this mountain of the plains represents him in their eyes, or perhaps this was the site of some great deed in his name. And nearby, peering over this ridge, we can spy one of Whiterun Hold's many inhabitants. One of the plains' great shepherds is trudging along with his mammoth, allowing it to graze in the grasslands, out for a stroll in much the same way we are. It wouldn't do to get too close, but it's nice to watch the two go on their way. Not a care in the world as to the wars of men and myrrh, simply living off what the land provides. Interestingly, right near the shrine of Stendar we can find another ruin. Here sits a shrine of Zenithar, tucked away under this ancient archway. This area of the region seems to hold a great deal of religious significance to multiple deities. Perhaps a path of pilgrimage, for there is also this great avian monolith to the west of the two shrines. Approaching, it towers above us, a piece of cloth at its top, indicating to us which way the wind blows. And at its base, a sword and shield, likely belonging to a warrior who may be buried here, or at least honouring them under the eyes of this bird of the wind. More pillars rise around the monolith, looking like fingers. You get a sense of some underground giant reaching up to the skies, something of the earth, dreaming to fly. Continuing our walk, we come across a rock, painted black with some symbols drawn upon. A giant camp. This is Sleeping Tree Camp, and spying from above, we can indeed spot the titular tree. Blue and iridescent, mysterious mist rising from the pond below. Atop another incline, there's some more avian statues and, strangely, the remains of an aspiring necromancer. It looks like he was trying to raise the dead for some unknown purpose. I don't think it ended too well. And nearby, some more graves and shovels. He had some grand plans, it seems. Probably a good thing they didn't come to fruition. But the sun is setting once more, so let's park ourselves on the side of the mountain, a reasonable distance away from our necromancer friend here. Morning light shines and we can make our way through this old ruin that hides a puzzle to get some extra loot. Linking back up with the road proper, we can continue on our way, bypassing the fort that is chock full of bandits. Rest assured, we'll be exploring within soon. Getting closer to the city, we can see more and more fellow travellers. A man running off to join the Legion, some Thalmor, and a courier. Being here, in the centre of the province, it would make sense that all kinds of people would pass through here on their way to the various regions of Skyrim. Looping around at the front of the fort, we come across this old cottage, not having stood the test of time. It is empty and broken, years of rot and wind destroying the roof. There is a bed within, should someone be in desperate need of a snooze. I wonder what caused this place to be abandoned. Did the owners pass on, or move? Or maybe these bandits in the fort laid waste to their land, causing them to flee to the city. There's some old carved stone here. No indication of what they once were. Perhaps another site like the avian monolith. Ascending the nearby hill, we can find an increased number of these small yellow trees, or saplings. Plenty of bees and bugs and butterflies dart around between their branches. I wonder if someone planted them, or if the ground here is exactly right to promote their growth. As we traverse this misty path, the great city of Whiterun rises to the south, claiming the horizon from the mountains. It's huge and iconic, packed with characters, details and stories, with quests that branch out to all corners of Skyrim. Making my way down to the east, I pass this vampire who didn't even give me the time of day. I wonder what that's about. On this end of the hold, you can almost feel the air get colder as the trees fall away and the snow line descends. In this altitude, the wind blasts over the land from the icy seas, making it a little less cozy than the eastern reaches. And indeed, as we reach the top of this rock, we can see how the land turns to ice below. Nearby, we can descend to visit the guards over at this eastern watchtower. It looks like we caught them in a little bandit attack, which is awkward. They made short work of them though. I'm not sure what the bandits hoped to achieve. Looking around the watchtower itself, it looks like it was once a larger, more grand structure that has crumbled over the years. It affords a good view out to the east, good for spotting potential attackers, especially considering the Stormcloaks are based out there. Weirdly, there's these openings on the outside that indicates the watchtower has an interior, but having a look around I couldn't spot a doorway. Perhaps it too has crumbled, or the interior is only accessible through a secret tunnel. Whatever it is, the guards weren't willing to share. Further down the road, we could find a jester with a broken cart. I'm sure that's nothing important. And nearby, there's this farm whose owners don't seem too keen on the jester.
should do.
They've constructed their windmill in a perfect spot, catching all the wind that blows in from the east. Ascending into these highlands, the wind picks up and the air grows ever colder. Soon the hard dirt is replaced with the crunch of fresh snow and the permafrost sets in. There's these two dead bandits I came across and a man who suspiciously had no reaction to the corpses. I wonder if he was responsible. Continuing, the golden grass of Whiterun slowly fades, replaced with the endless sea of white. The rocks soon become more jagged as we leave the sheltered plains behind. Using this pass, we can come across a word wall with some odd chanting coming from it. Approaching. Oh shit. That was a lot, but it proves just how dangerous the world becomes the instant you step out of Whiterun. And here, on this cliff edge, our journey ends. The cold lands to the east, stretching out before us. Thanks for coming on this walk. Sometimes when the stresses of the world get a bit too much, it's good to take some time, turn the HUD off and enjoy some sights and sounds of a world filled with so much to explore. And I hope to take more of these walks soon, through Skyrim and other worlds. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if you're interested in more. As always, if there's any particular games, moments or details you'd like us to take a look at, let us know in the comments. Look forward to more oddities, odysseys, observations and open roads, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.